Hey guys, Richard at Ryden's Room here. This is my latest film review. This is one I really should have done the next one of a long time ago, because a few weeks ago I did Fellowship of the Ring, pretty because of the Amazon announcement. So I figured, yeah, the plan back then was to do all three of them quite quickly. That didn't happen in the end, but I thought I'd finally get around to doing the Two Towers, just the second one. So yeah, again, there was one thing I forgot about these films, but all three of them, Arwen is obviously an important character, but she's on the cover of all of them. It just, I don't know, it never quite seemed right. I get Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, she has the big action sequence. She's the one that saves Frodo from the ring wraiths after Aragorn defeats them. But yeah, putting her in all of them when her appearances, I don't know, especially extended, I feel like they got a bit smaller each time as well. I don't know, maybe Return of the King's level with Two Towers, but I just think of all the characters at the front. Two Towers, yeah, Frodo and Sam, right characters. Gandalf the White and Aragorn, yes. To be honest, I probably would have put one of the newer characters like maybe Éomer or Faramir in. Yeah, Faramir I think would be better suited to being on the cover. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, again, Amazon have got their show coming out, the second age focused one, the Rings of Power, in September. I've not got an Amazon Prime account. I mean, obviously, like probably everyone else, I use Amazon. I've seen many great deals on there. I used to sell through there, but I didn't anymore. I took a while back in 2008. Took a while with my postage and ended up getting a ban. I don't know if that's like even been revoked or not, but I've gotten used to eBay for sales. But yeah, Amazon's an amazing service, but I don't bother with the TV. It's just another subscription, and there's not really that much on there that I'd want to watch. Drawn Together, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure I've got them downloaded somewhere, and maybe one day they may get a Region 2 release, who knows. But yeah, I'm just overall not that impressed with the Ring of Power, and I won't go into it, but you're probably aware of the backlash that's out there, and also the response to the backlash, not treating the fans particularly nicely. Stuff like that isn't exactly endearing, and I'm not bothered. But hey, got the books, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. I probably will buy Silmarillion. I had it a couple of years ago, finished it, and it weren't too into it, but maybe I'll give it another shot. And then there's all these other ones like Unfinished Tales at my friends this week, and they're talking about how good those are as well. So yeah, give that a go sometime. But yes, this is about Two Towers. Haven't watched this in a while. This review is kind of off memory, much like Return of the King. I think the last time I watched these was last year. I think Easter weekend, or maybe the year before, we watched all four. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and Monday, just because Return of the King extended so massive. It was better to split into two. Didn't want to get a bit bored of it. But yeah, Two Towers, always liked this one. I remember watching it in O2 in the cinema. It was a hell of a spectacle. That Helm's Deep battles. You got Gandalf reborn. You got your new characters like Faramir and Éomer. You got Gollum, incredible CGI. I always wondered if Peter Jackson would ever do a George Lucas and edit the films again. Two big things would be Fellowship of the Ring, just have the Gollum who looks exactly like he does because in 2010 and King, because he's kind of like dark in his shadows. It was pretty new stuff they were doing at the time, motion capture in that, so it didn't really matter, and he didn't have a particularly big role in Fellowship. And then the same with Bilbo, edit that scene of him finding the ring to basically be taken straight out of The Hobbit, or at least just have a new thing with Martin Freeman or something, I don't know, but it never happened. But just that's which will be worth doing just to build the whole continuity up, keep it a bit more like kind of like what done with Star Wars. Palpatine, best example in Episode 5, redoing the whatever his original like hologram form of him was to actually be Ian McDiarmid, and then with new dialogue since the actor was making Revenge of the Sith at the time. That was a genuinely good decision. That I don't mind. I doubt it's going to happen all these years later. I mean, if they didn't do it anything like 4K, they're not going to again. But oh well. So yeah, loved this at the time, but I always thought it was the weakest of the three. Fellowship's amazing setup for so much stuff. Return of the King is obviously the perfect ending, and if that ending is a long one, you know what I mean. It's just those little things that Fellowship Return of the King kind of did better, like Gandalf and Frodo in 1, Gandalf and Pippin in 3, one-on-one sword fights, Aragorn and the Uruk-hai leader in 1, and I suppose you can't really put Gandalf and the Witch King as a one-on-one sword fight, but you can certainly put Aragorn and that troll, or / Aragorn and Sauron, as apparently the original plan was, or in the extended one, Éowyn v the Orc leader. I'm pretty sure his name was Gothmog. That was a good fight. Don't know why that was only extended only. And then just little things like that. I mean, Two Towers obviously has unique things to it, like Treebeard and The Hobbit, for example. You got Faramir, and the extended version even has the setting up a new character via flashback, like the amazing sequence of him and Boromir. But of course, that's extended only. So yeah, Two Towers definitely improves through the extended edition, but the original, I just thought, great film. It's just if Fellowship and Return of the King are 10 out of 10s, Two Towers more than 9, maybe 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, good film. So don't want to go on too much on everything. My last video was way too long. I apologise for that. I'm still totally learning all this stuff. What the hell, Pot Fungos, obviously A Song of Ice and Fire is in Lord of the Rings Shadow. Every fantasy is. So yeah, Ghost and Jon Snow make the appropriate ones for this video. Yeah, I'll do a Game of Thrones vid some other time. Like a lot of people, I went off Game of Thrones towards the end, but the Pot Fungos are always amazing. Absolutely great designs. Yeah, good little characters. Got way more Game of Thrones ones downstairs in the sort of War of the Five Kings thing. That Jon Snow wasn't technically part of that, so that's why he's up here next to Ghost. But yeah, so Two Towers. It's ultimately, say what, 3-4 major storylines. One is obviously Frodo and Sam, and they end up with Gollum on their side. Gollum actually starts trying to do good, but I suppose like the power of the rings, like a drug, the bad side is always going to come out eventually, which it does. He thinks Frodo has found his men and hurt him, and he turns back to his old side where he's happy to have the hobbits killed. But yeah, it's good story. Like I said earlier, CGI on Gollum is incredible. The scenes where he's talking to himself like a split personality is absolutely perfect, and you really get a feeling that Gollum is evil, isn't that? What the things he's done. When you have to read all the books and that Gollum did some terrible things, particularly when he first got the ring as well. And there's no saving him. That there's times that it's possible, but you just know in the end the Gollum side is going to come out, and Smeagol just doesn't have a chance. But yeah, it's a really good story, and I've never been a fan of like the changes with Frodo and Sam in the third one when Gollum's there, but in this works perfectly. So yeah, no arguments there. Great story, and it's like nice how Frodo and Sam are kind of like they're the most important characters, let's be honest, except maybe Aragorn and Gandalf. But Frodo and Sam are part of the most important story, and they obviously avoid the huge battles and everything. It's a good little personal story, and of course you got Frodo's life really being damaged by the ring, and this is like only the beginning really. Next story is, of course, it all kind of picks up after Fellowship of the Ring. Everyone's gone off in groups. Frodo and Sam are on their own. Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli are off to save Merry and Pippin from the Uruk-hai, but they get there too late. The riders of Rohan, led by Éomer, who's like the future king of Rohan. He's like they kill all the Uruk-hai. The hobbits get away, meet Treebeard and the Ents, and ultimately they're Merry and Pippin's story, because they end up separate from Aragorn and the others. Theirs is to get the Ents to go to war. The Ents are just convinced the war doesn't affect them whatsoever. It's quite sad how you get the feeling that they just believe no one cares about them. They're not part of like the world anymore, so why should they get involved? And it's a good ending when Merry does everything to like try and get them to join in. They refuse, and then Pippin, even though he's not the prize hobbit, actually saves the day. What Treebeard doesn't seem to get is that the Ents are done for if they don't help. Pippin has them go off to drop them off at the Shire by going past Isengard. It's a great, basically tricks Treebeard, telling him that Saruman would pretty much never expect them to just walk past his castle. And yeah, Treebeard thinks that doesn't make much sense, but the hobbits are very small, so maybe it does make sense. And he just sees because of course in Fellowship of the Ring, Saruman was having the Isengard completely destroyed, every tree, everything torn out. And yeah, when Treebeard sees what he's done, he just snaps, loses it completely. And it's an amazing sequence when the Ents all rally and, of course, and yeah, totally destroy Saruman's army. Saruman's made the mistake of planning to wipe out the men, and he sent his entire forces away. So yeah, they're pretty much undefended, just like it's so like a Garrett's skeleton crew of orcs, like the ones who are like part of the Uruk-hai creation. And yeah, and they win. And next time you watch this, do this. This is something I think I've watched this on listening to the commentary once. They mentioned it. Just watch a random orc in the scene, like when the Ents like flood the place, and just watch, see what happens to him. It's quite good fun watch, just the creative ways all the orcs get drowned or stepped on or crushed. It's or heads knocked together. It's pretty good fun. So yeah, that's their story. And of course, onto Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli. They end up in Rohan, which is like the next big kingdom after Gondor. And Saruman is planning to wipe the force of men out once and for all, because obviously men are the biggest threat to his army. You get the amazing Helm's Deep battle. There's a few like attacks on the small like fortresses. Theoden, who's like being possessed by Saruman, but Gandalf comes back to life. It was going to happen, but it's incredibly annoying. They put in all the promotional material, teasers and everything. It's like, come on, they should have, even if you haven't read the books, which at that point I hadn't. They could have, although I did by the time Two Towers came out. yeah, they should have kept that secret. I mean, it's incredibly annoying that such a huge moment. Gandalf resurrected is like spoiled instantly just because it looks good on a poster. But yeah, Gandalf basically comes back, saves King Theoden from his possession. You know, you see that his former, like, I don't know, right-hand man maybe, or one of like the heads, you know, top guys in Rohan, Grima Wormtongue, was just working with Saruman the whole time. Seems like Eowyn was what his price was, but yeah, this Grima Wormtongue is a bad guy, definitely one of the most evil people around. He's just really does care about nothing but presumably wealth, money, women, men, Family Guy style. But yeah, he's a terrible person, and you just wonder. I mean, he's working with Saruman, who plans to wipe out all like men he can, and he wants to live in a world where he's responsible for that. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's obviously got nowhere else to go when he gets like when Theoden comes to his senses. Yeah, Aragorn stops Theoden from killing him, but they don't throw him in prison, which is probably what he should have done. But yeah, oh well. But yeah, Gandalf, you know, saves the day, then goes off to get help. Theoden basically retreats to Helm's Deep, and it is an amazing like battle sequence. I'd never seen anything like it at the time. You know, even like Game of Thrones, they talk about that was the inspiration for several battles. Maybe Battle of Winterfell in Series 8, or maybe even Battle of Castle Black, because a lot of it is like them trying to siege the place. They can't just storm in, they have to like climb up ladders, etc. Yeah, amazing sequence. Some of the elves come and help. Well, none of the major ones. The only real major elf, I guess, is like one of the leaders of, I think, the Woodland Realm elves in Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, he dies. It's pretty sad, but you don't really know who this guy is. Can you imagine if there was like Elrond's there or Arwen? Yeah, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's an amazing battle sequence. You got the OTT stuff like Legolas surfing on a shield and that, but it's fantasy. It's not meant to be taken too seriously, and it's fun, enjoyable stuff overall. And yeah, the orcs lose, and in the extended version, the trees actually attack them. They come to Helm's Deep, and as soon as every orc guy's gone in, they all get like beaten and crushed to death. It's yeah, really good one. So that's like their story, and then Merry and Pippin will meet those characters in film 3, so that's like kind of the end of that story. Other one would be of course, back to the beginning, Frodo and Sam. So yeah, Frodo, Sam and Gollum, they actually meet Faramir along the way. Faramir is Boromir's younger brother, and of course, Frodo has clearly told Sam what Boromir did. You know, tried to take the ring from him, and tried to murder him to get to it. Frodo and Sam are naturally worried that his younger brother might think the same way. And this is like probably the one thing worth mentioning about the difference in the books. Faramir, in the book, he's got no interest in ring whatsoever. Yeah, he says this line, which they more or less carry over into film 3, about how, given the chance, he would never take the ring, not if he could like save anybody using its power. And in the film, it's sort of set up as if he's tempted. I never felt like Faramir was tempted to take the ring for himself, like Boromir wanted. Boromir wanted to take the ring to get its strength, be the greatest warrior ever, presumably. Just anything to stop the villains, even though it would change him. Faramir it never felt like he wanted the ring for himself, but he wanted to return it to Gondor, maybe to his father, to see what should be done with it. It didn't bother me too much. I mean, I read Two Towers, the whole thing, somewhere between films 1 and 2 back in 2002. It never felt like that, but I know how some people don't like that Faramir seemed different, like he was tempted by the ring. But that's it. The whole point of the ring is it's tempting. Faramir is probably, book and film, one of those honest, purest people ever, of men anyway. And people who do tend to want that power. And it seemed like he was just desperate to please his dad. Again, Extended Edition has these amazing flashbacks where it's him and Boromir, right after they've taken back Osgiliath from the enemy. They're brothers, they're the best of friends ever, but their father Denethor, again, a new character introduced for a flashback, which is kind of cool. He is the worst, It seems that he just doesn't think much of Faramir, because Faramir wants to do more than just be a fighter. I mean, Faramir is an exceptional fighter, great with arrows, swords, he liked other things as well, and therefore somehow didn't like that about him. But yeah, I had no problem with him. He's clearly just desperate to win his father's love and appeal. He just doesn't realise it's a lost cause. Effectively, he thinks this will help. But yeah, Faramir offers to go to Rivendell in the flashback, and Denethor says, no, you're not good enough, and Boromir goes instead. So it makes you wonder what would happen if Faramir did go in their place. It's maybe one day there'll be a Marvel What If type series about Lord of the Rings. That'd be a good one. But yeah, that's kind of like their stories. Yeah, that's pretty much it of all the main characters. You've got good new ones like Éomer and Éowyn. They're King Theoden's niece and nephew, but the film which opens with Theoden's son having died, and then he like having been injured, and then he dies through the night. I've always thought this was hinting that Wormtongue had killed him, because he does a similar thing in the book for part 3, which wasn't adapted, but basically at the end of film 3, the Shire is enslaved. Saruman takes petty revenge by getting people to enslave the hobbits, and Grima Wormtongue kills one of the head hobbit guys when he was injured. So I've always thought it was suggesting that Grima did that himself, but I don't think they've actually confirmed that anywhere. But it basically leaves Éowyn and Éowyn as the heirs. And Éowyn, is an amazing character. Like Arwen, she's a really good fighter, but she doesn't really want to have the life that's expected of her, and it's partly put why she falls in love with Aragorn so easily. It's his life, no responsibility, just doing what you want, just going around fighting orcs and that. It's the life she wishes she has but doesn't. But she's a really, really strong character, and she gets to a lot more in film 3 as well, particularly in the extended scenes. So great character there. So good film overall. I'm not, it sounds like I absolutely love this film, which I do. I just think that 1 and 3 do a lot of things better, but this is still a superb one, especially the extended version. Again, I think my only criticism of film 1 was the extended scenes didn't add too much. Someone just with extra scenes, like fight scenes dragged out. Aragorn a really cool slash on an orc's neck. It doesn't sound that exciting, but if you watch it, it's kind of cool. Just a lot of cool twirls of his sword. Then you got so much stuff with the hobbits just chilling out and partying at the beginning, where film 2 starts bringing the really important extended scenes like Faramir and his, Faramir, Boromir, Denethor, for example. So love the film, obviously, but I just think 1 and 3 do things better. Like I said, 1 and 3 are 10 9.9s. This is a 9.5 or 9.0. But great film, no faults whatsoever, and maybe I'll watch these sometime. They're really good movies. But until next time, again, please like and subscribe if you like this. I'll have the next Lord of the Rings one up soon. Thank you.